Oh, hey, friends on YouTube. That was weird. I changed my YouTube stream key. I was messing around with some settings, and I messed it up and was just streaming not to my actual Mycelia thing here. For the last 20 minutes, I've been rambling. We unboxed the game. It showed that I was live, but really I wasn't. All my fault. All my fault. So, whoops. Don't do that. Don't use the wrong stream key, or it doesn't work. Who knew? So, anyhow, back to it. It should be working now. Working now for reals. Hashtag pro streamer. Things that aren't working. The pro streamer redeem. I went to fix it, and the plugin is like totally busted, and it was going to require some more digging in order to fix. So I just sort of abandoned ship for today, and I will figure that out later. All right, let's take a look at how to set this bad boy up, and then we can get to playing. All right. Shuffle the triangle tiles face down. They came pre-worn, I guess. I don't know. Then turn off the redeem so no one tries it and we have to refund them. That would be like an appropriate pro streamer move that, you know, makes sense. Here I was, I kind of forgot about it, that it was broken, and then I spontaneously remembered it today, and I looked at it real quick before stream, but it didn't get as far as turning off the redeem, but that's a good idea, actually. Let me see. Can I quickly do that here? Probably. If I can read it. I can actually control my streaming computer from here now, but some stuff is really not easy to do. Hashtag pro streamer disabled. Probably. It's probably disabled. Can I guarantee that it is? No. Do I think that it probably is? Yeah. Do I maybe need to start streaming again before that actually takes effect? Possibly. Trombone, are you back home? We should talk Meeples by mail stuff one of these days. I should send you my address. No pressure or anything. I want to get back on that. I got big goals for the remainder of the year, and they involve me actually doing stuff. And has been my challenge lately. I have not been doing the things, you know. It worked. Not available. Sweet. That must feel weird. Hey, Trombone, saying that I did something correctly. That's not on brand for you. Hope you find some way to criticize me out of that. I mean, I did leave it on initially. That was for a long time there, too. Finally! Sorry, Martina. I really messed up the YouTube thing. I would appreciate if anybody has any, like, notices anything weird with this stream in terms of, like, visually. Like, I don't think there's going to be much here, but I did change. So I enabled this thing called Twitch Enhanced Broadcasting. And basically what that does is that instead of you sending video to Twitch and then Twitch transcoding it, so to make it available in smaller resolutions and a variety of formats and whatever, you do it for them. They're basically asking you to do stuff that they would normally do. But the benefit is that you should get like a better quality stream generally. The problem is that instead of being able to have, like, you know, specify like these 20 parameters about how the stream works, I get to specify nothing and hope that Twitch does a good job for me. So if it sucks, I'd love to know. I have an issue with having to see your face. Can you fix that? No, you're stuck with me. I'm sorry, Trombone, but I appreciate you. Send you a message to look at later. Okay. That's okay, Trombone. Don't feel bad. I wasn't trying to pressure you or call you out or anything. I just wanted to, like, completely in my own self-interest, I wanted to ask about that. So, all right. We shuffled these. We put them in 2 stacks. We're going to take the top 6 from each pile. Can I count to 6? Not just quickly from a pile. Hey, that one is. Okay. Take the top 6 from each pile and set them up in a star shape as shown. Okay, so we get a little hexagon kind of vibe. And then we put one of these out at each end. So these are different colors. Generally, in order to get specific mushrooms, we're going to need to have spores placed, that's these little cubes, placed out on particular tiles. And we're going to end up forming, those are a little bit hard to see, I think, maybe red isn't the choice. But one of the other ones is orange, which is going to be pretty matchy, whatever. Anyways, we're going to end up basically making a network of spores and then consuming those in order to make more of these cute little mushrooms. Needed to let you know I wasn't an imposter after my kind comment earlier. Appreciate it. I was concerned. So if the tile has an insect symbol, immediately place an insect on it. Okay, so we got, what do we got? Insect. All the insect tiles, even though they look different, are functionally the same. So it doesn't matter which of these we use, but maybe I'll put them not 9 miles away from me. Shuffle all the mushroom cards. Ooh, there's lots. Trombone, thanks for that lurk. Appreciate you. I feel like probably we need to do some of the single player setup in here, but we're just going to set it up like this. I think it's more or less set up for the 2-player game, except that we have these cards, but we will see. So far my impressions of this game, I really like the graphic design. The art is nice. I'm a big fan of the color palette in terms of how it looks visually. I'm not sure it's the best choice for a board game. It is a little bit busy and hard to see at a glance. Like all the background texture there makes for a lot visually. Is that going to be actually problematic when we play? I doubt it, but I guess we'll find out. So one of the things I've been doing lately, it's a new year. It's now February, but one of the things I decided is I'm not going to buy any board games this year for all of 2025. So that doesn't mean there aren't some board games that I've purchased previously that will show up, like due to Kickstarters and so on. Because like these days, I feel like Kickstarter fulfillment is typically 2 years out, right? Often, like it's not uncommon for bigger games for it to be like 3, sometimes even 4 years, right? So there's definitely stuff I bought, in 2022, 2023 that's going to show up one day, but I'm not going to go to the board game store, Board Game Bliss, my usual store of choice, where I would usually, find myself surprisingly convincing myself to spend $1,000 that I don't have. I'm not going to do that this year. So on that note, I'm going to be trying to play through a lot of the games that I already have. And then I will be either like trying to decide, do I want to keep these games in my collection or do I want to get rid of them? And if I get rid of them, how do I want to do that? Am I going to give them away? Am I going to sell them? Am I going to burn them in the fire because they're horrible? ether fields. I don't know, but I want to focus on, you know, paring down, using the stuff that I have. And one of the ways in which I'm going to do that is I'm going to start a new stream. So I'm going to be streaming here on Twitch every Thursday, starting this coming Thursday, with little, I don't know if we're going to call it this, but games with grandma, basically. I'm going to play some games with my mom, 2-player games here on stream. She's going to join me every Thursday morning, and we're going to try and go through a bunch of games. So we're just going to start playing games, starting... Ooh, I bent the heck out of that orange peel fungus. That's not fair. We're going to start playing games alphabetically. We're just going to start with A, and every week we're going to play a game from the next letter of the alphabet. You should add a token or replace a forbidden candy for every game you downside. Love Thursday with Opcos, Mom. There you go. So yeah, we're going to play. I'm going to teach my mom a game, something that works well with 2 players, and we're going to try it out. And I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. I don't know, honestly, in terms of time commitments, how much time she has available. I think we're going to generally play lighter games, but we're going to start with Azul, because Azul starts with A and is a fabulous game. And she hasn't played it ever. So we're going to start there. All right, I need 3 cards from this deck that I've been shuffling and over shuffling. And then we get 5 little player mats. Oh, I see. That thing is just for tucking the mushroom under it. That's the whole reason for that. It's not actually, it doesn't actually go on it. Let's see. Ooh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I laid these out exactly wrong. All right. Imagine this. We got mushrooms too. Looking forward to it. Appreciate that. Hopefully I don't get my butt kicked too bad. My mother's extremely competitive, but I would say I typically win. More experience. These little counters are our spore counters. They count how many times we've spread spores with these particular mushrooms. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna see if there's any special solo setup before I do the next little bit here, because I feel like maybe. Okay, well, that sucks. We're not supposed to have these black tiles in here. Good news is there's only 2. Bad news is there's at least 3 or 4 more in the deck. Oh, we found them. All right, our star's looking a little bit janky, but we'll get there. We don't need player boards for anyone else. These are double-sided, so we're going to play on noob mode because we're bad, because we have no idea what we're doing. All right. So we do need a player color. We're going to choose blue, the color of the enemy, aka Martina. We're going to put these on the circles with the pips. And our friend here gets, from the main mushroom deck that's hiding in plain sight, gets 5 cards. And they get 2 insect tokens. And then this is their little deck of like decision-y cards. We may or may not need this other stuff. And we're gonna actually put these insects elsewhere so that it's not in the way, we don't get confused or anything like that. All right, I think we're done. We're ready to go. We're set up. We did it. Okay, so we do place our mother tokens out. It does say to place them directly opposite. So I think we're going to place ours here. And we are going to place theirs there. Okay, so we need to do anything else? Not really. Whoa, knock over the stack of mushroom tiles. Okay, so we got to reveal a couple of these cards. We'll need that wind die later. And we're going to flip out a few of these. Shaggy Parasol, Stinking Dapperling, and Dryad's Saddle. Not sure how I feel about the names of these mushrooms. We're just not going to worry about that too much. Not going to think about that. We can look at our own cards now as well. Oh, we got the hairy trumpet. Uh-oh. Disaster. Okay, well, here's what we've got. So, on these cards, they tell us, like, the name, the scientific name, how many points it's worth, how many spores it spreads, okay, what it's going to require for us in order to fruit this mushroom. So we need to have spores on these colors on this game board here, right? Like, and they need to be connected. So for instance, this one, we would need a red, yellow, and green that are connected. So maybe we have them, oh, that's in the way. Maybe that could be achieved, you know, over here on these spots, but they would need to also be connected with some spores in the center there. It has to form like a network, right? And then all of these have a effect on the bottom when they decay. So as we spread spores with these, we're gonna move this spore counter over to track how many times we've done it, and once they've done so twice, they can be decayed, in which case we get that decay effect. Some of the decay effects happen immediately. Others you know, give us a permanent bonus for the rest of the game or whatever, all kinds of different stuff. Okay, so on our turn, we are going to take 2 actions. Okay, the actions have to be different. There's 6 different ones we can do, right? So we can move, right? That's moving our mother mushroom. That's this one. Mother mushrooms can never occupy the same space as other mother mushrooms. And we can essentially kind of permanently use them as a way of spreading spores. They kind of give us presence on the board forever. Okay, so this mother mushroom could never be here, but it could be on any of these other spaces. These insect tiles I can claim by moving my mother mushroom onto them. Okay, when I move, I can move up to 2 spaces. You move across like a flat edge of the triangle that you're on. These insects, if I do get them, when I have 2 of them, I could spend 2 of them to move my opponent's mother mushroom anywhere. That's significant because mother mushrooms kind of like take over networks. So if I've spread some spores around, right, and they've spread some spores around, and their mother mushroom is over here, I can't actually use this spore. This one will be blocked, and they can use it even though it's mine. So the position of the mother mushrooms, we'll see how much it matters, but it has some relevance for sure. Okay, so I can move. If I take the move action, I move up to 2 spaces. You're explicitly allowed to move away and then back to the same spot. I don't know why that would be significant, but they do call it out in the rules. We'll see. We can spore, okay? So when we spore, that's either from our mother mushroom or from a fruited mushroom, which we don't have yet, okay? So when we do that, we spread spores. Our mother mushroom spreads 2. The other mushrooms here, I could just leave these face up, I guess. These spread a different amount potentially. So like for instance, this one also spreads 2, but these ones spread 3. Okay, so we get to place that many spore tokens on the board from wherever that is. So if we did that spore action right now, from where our mother mushroom is, we would get to put out 2 spore tokens. Okay, and the first one always goes on the spot we're on. Okay, and then it makes like kind of a cone away from it. So we roll this die, this wind die, and like they say that like there's essentially like A, U, or O. Okay, because these are kind of abstract. But we would roll this. And in this case, I got that like A symbol. So I'd look for that on here. It's on this side. So this is where the wind blows. I'm a mushroom. I don't have much control over the wind and where it blows. Okay. But I would, in this case, put a spore token here. And then I'd put one on this because the wind's blowing in a cone in this direction. So I place them kind of out that away. Okay. And I do believe I have some kind of liberty in terms of where I place them. Like, I think they have to be connected, but if I was placing like say 4 or 5, I can choose which tiles they go on to, so I would then also move my spore counter up if I had spored from one of these mushrooms, which I can't do yet because before I can do that, I have to grow a mushroom. So to grow a mushroom, it's like what we talked about before. I got to spend these spores off of the board. They have to be connected. They don't strictly speaking have to be mine, but they probably will be in most cases. And then I would put that on here. And now this mushroom, I can use its sporing action and put out more spores, for instance. And this would go onto the board in one of the spaces where I had taken spores from. So that's how I fruit a mushroom. Okay. When I have spored twice with a fruited mushroom, so let's say this was on the map, the mauve splitting wax cap, and I'd spored with it twice, spread some spores around wherever the wind happens to blow. Then I could decay this mushroom. Okay, so I would then take this and I would slide it under the player mat here. Okay. And I would get its decay effect. So in this case is an instant one. It says move an opponent's mother up to 3 spaces. Okay, so I would then reset my little spore counter, and then this like space would be available again for me when all of the player boards have had a mushroom on them decayed. The game's over, but I could decay multiple mushrooms in the same spot, like eventually, and like, you know, not that I can do that because there's a skill issue here, but let's imagine I did it that way because it's way easier. You know, this gives me a permanent effect. Now my mother mushroom can move 3 spots, right? So I can decay multiples in 1 slot, but once each of the 5 slots have had 1 decayed mushroom, the game is over. You also get 5 bonus points if you're the person who ends the game. So it may be worth doing that. I don't know. Something we'll explore as we play. Speaking of exploring, that's one of the other actions. We can make this board bigger. When we explore, we pick up a triangle tile. We add it anywhere on the board. Okay. Flat sides meet flat sides. It works exactly like you would expect it to. Okay. And then the other thing we can do is we can discover, we can add cards to our hand. There is no hand limit. Okay. And when we discover, we either take one of these 3 cards, or we take the top card of the deck. So we perform 2 actions, moving our mother mushroom. Okay. Spreading spores, whether from our mother mushroom or a spore we have fruited. We can fruit this by spending spores from the board that are networked together on the correct colors. We can add new cards to our hand, discovering new mushrooms. We can explore and add new tiles to the board, which might help us get colors we need, for instance, that sort of thing. And once our mushrooms have decayed twice, we can, or have spored twice rather, we can decay them, essentially removing them from the map and tucking them under that board, giving us some sort of effect, whether instantaneous or permanent or what have you. Okay. Mom, welcome in. Could we say now that this is a sports stream? Oh my God, Allison, listen. Okay, we're gonna talk about that one. That one's bad even for you. And you have lots of corny jokes, so yikes. Yikes. All right, so first turn of the solo game here. What the hell are we gonna do? I don't know. I think what we're gonna try and do is we want to get some mushrooms out on the board, right? And I think that we should probably take a discover action and take this one because it's low value, this card here, but despite being low value, it is extremely easy for us to get out on the board. It gives us some new cards when we decay it, and it spreads 3 spores instead of our mother mushroom, which only spreads 2. So we're going to discover, we're going to take that card. I think this gets replaced. I'm going to assume it does. I have to take different actions anyway. And then I think we should spread some spores. We could move our mother and pick up some of these insects. That's an option as well. But we need either green or yellow. Why, hello there, young fellow. I thought you started at 1. Yeah, me too. I just got it wrong because I'm dumb. So I mentioned earlier, Pat, that I started streaming and I thought I was running late because years ago, a long time ago, I used to stream at 11 in the morning, and it was always stressful because I was always running behind. And here I was, and it's like 11:30. And I'm like, man, I'm behind on stream. I got to get going, right? But no, I usually start at 1, and I'm just a doofus and started early because I'm out of practice and rusty. It's been a bit. So here we are. Anyway, back to it. So we want to get either a green or yellow spore out. Maybe let's do that. We don't know what we're doing. Why don't we just move our mother here? Because then we can claim these insect tiles. They're worth 1 point or half a point each, 2 to 1 at the end of the game. And it will enable us to move that if we need to, right? I don't know. We don't know what we're doing. The insects are there. Let's take them while we can. Who wants to use spores and spread mushrooms and stuff anyway? That's only the whole purpose of the game. All right, let's see how the AI turn works. I have read these rules for what they do, but let's just make sure we get it right. Okay, so they basically follow like a little decision tree here. So, yeah, welcome in, Heavy Cardboard. Hope you're well. So there's a little decision tree here. Fruit, decay, spore, possibly explore, and move. Okay, so they're also going to take 2 actions just like we did, and they're always going to try to do these actions in the order that they have listed here. Okay. So we're going to flip over one of their cards here. How am I doing this? We want it this way. We're playing on the green side, or like this, right? Oh, I see how it is. Never mind. We're playing it like this. I'm just blind. Okay, so we're using the green side because we're noobs. That's the easier side. Okay, so this is fruit with 2 yellow and any other color. Okay, and that would let us, because they don't really have the cards per se. Okay. Or why did my music just suddenly stop? Can you guys still hear music? I feel like you guys can. I can see that the music's still going, but I suddenly can't hear it. I've had this issue ongoing where I think it's related to a recent Windows update. Other people have been having problems too, where my sound will just cut out and I have to like restart some devices, unfortunately. And it never gets better. It won't come back unless I go do that. And it's not software, like it's caused by a software issue, but I have to restart a physical device. And I'm going to do something stupid. Like I can't hear the music anymore. I see the volume meter. I know it's playing. But I'm going to do something stupid like miss a raid or something because I won't be able to hear anything and I'm used to it. So I got to go fix this real quick. That's surprisingly disruptive, even though to you guys, nothing has changed. So I'm going to hit the be right back screen here for a second. And I just got to walk around my desk, turn something off, wait 5 seconds, turn it back on and walk right back. So I'll be back in a sec. All right, that's it. Very exciting times, I know, but whatever. Okay, so can he fruit? No, right? Let's look at the back here. So where were we? We were doing the first turn for our AI opponent here. He has a little decision tree of cards here that he is looking at. Okay, he's trying to do these top to bottom, so he will always fruit if he can.
Drink something.
Thank you for taking care of me, Martina. I'll have some coffee here. All right. So they will always fruit if they can. Okay? They can't in this case because they would need 2 yellow and 1 anything spore. They have no spores out. Okay. They will decay. Okay. And this is the benefit they'll gain. Now, they can't do that either because they would have had to have spored a mushroom twice, which they haven't done. So, can they spore? This was the only thing I was confused about in the rules. But yeah, basically, this is the first action they could do. So they could spore with their mother mushroom, right? Their mother mushroom's on the board. There's a fruited mushroom on the board. They will generally spore that instead. But they can do this. So, like our mother mushroom, their mother mushroom will spore 2. Okay. So 1 is going to go on the tile where the mother mushroom is. And then the next one is going to go in a cone outward from that based on the wind, but it's just going to go on one of the adjacent tiles. In this case, it's the O one. It's going to go here on this brown tile. Okay. And if this was on like a edge piece or whatever, then they would potentially explore prior to sporing. Because if you spore onto spaces where there is nothing, the spores just go away. You just lose. Okay, and then finally, it will take a move action. So it says that we are going to roll the die here and move the mother. It also got this O, but it doesn't move necessarily just in that direction. It's going to move toward the closest fruited mushroom, which there isn't one. So I think we'll just move, like, I don't know what the fairest thing to do is. It says try to do things that are like hard for you, but I don't know what's hard. We haven't played this game before, but I'm just going to say it would steal this insect, right? Surely. Started with 2 insects. Now it has 3. They're worth points. Denies us the insect. We did that to it. It is a remotely plausible move. I don't know. So it did its 2 actions. And oh, did I do this wrong? Oh, and of course it moves 2 spaces, not 1. Okay, so I did the move wrong. So let's fix that. So all the actions move to the closest piece shown on the card. Okay, but I think that just means we roll. Yeah. Okay, they wrote this sentence really weirdly. So I did that correctly. Okay. So it actually says, okay, it does give us, it says if the action isn't applicable, it actually gives us rules for this. I was mistaken. So it says roll the wind die and move it there, following the directions on the thing, and just do that twice. So it moves there once, and then it moves back. So it had an absolutely lackluster move. But whatever, we're okay with that because we're noobs. All right, 1 turn complete. What are we going to do now? We're probably going to do what we should have done the first turn, but didn't. And we should spore, right? Because we can spread out 2 spores. I suppose, strictly speaking, when we're here, we can't just choose to spore this way. We have a 1 in 3 chance of sporing that way, but we might absolutely fail to do so. So I guess the question is, because when we spore, we get to put out 2 cubes. 1 goes where we're at, and then 1 goes in the direction that this die rolls, right? We're at the mercy of the board. I really should have spored when I was over here and it was safe. So do we move back like fools and spore, or do we explore and push our luck? Let's do that. We're going to take an explore action, okay? Or a discover action, rather. No, an explore action. So when we explore, we have to put out a new tile, okay? It's going to look like this. That's good for us. Okay. Oh, I guess we only actually need 1 anyway. We don't need 2. Well, whatever. We're going to put this over here. And then we're going to take the spore action. Okay. So we're gonna put one here, and one goes in the direction of the wind, which is of course in the this spot. The only one. Welcome in if you've never been on an off-cost stream. Rolling and me don't get along. So we had a 66% chance of success, and inevitably we failed. That's all right. Okay, so that is over. Now it is our good friend, the bot's turn. So what's he gonna do? So he's gonna try and fruit 2 green and 1 of anything that he obviously cannot do. Can't decay, but he can spore. So he'll spore here and then this way. Okay, so he's getting a little collection here. They're mostly brown, so the colors have just been unfortunate on the cards, but he's getting there. And then he will move. So let's see. Let's roll. We got the U. He'll move towards the closest brown tile. So he will move to there. And it says here, if it's accomplished in 1 move, no more moves are needed. Okay, so he's going to hang out there. He's coming to assert dominance in our direction. Okay. That's actually really quick to execute once we have a... it even tells us what to do if the move isn't applicable on here. Damn. Once we have a vague idea what we're doing, that's like pretty easy to execute. So... let's figure out what we're gonna do here. We want to get this correct. Let's make sure that we properly fruit this thing. Okay, so we're gonna grow a mushroom. You can't grow a mushroom on the same tile that your mother mushroom currently occupies. Okay, so we really messed everything up by moving our mother mushroom to get those insects. But that's okay. So we have to move our mother mushroom again. You know what? We're going to put it right back to where it was. And then we're going to fruit this mushroom here, the stinking dapperling. That's where we're going to start. Okay, as that's on brand anyway for us around here. Okay, so we need either a green or a yellow. It doesn't matter. We don't have to have our mother adjacent to them or anything like that. We're gonna spend this spore. It goes back in our pool, and we're gonna put this guy out there. Okay, mushroom number 1. This is a stinking dapperling now. Gorgeous as it can be. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. And the benefit for us, of course, is that now, if we want to, we can spread more spores. Okay, we can spread 3 instead of 2. Now, a problem I'm realizing as I say this is that I don't know where those spores are going to go, because if we roll this way, we're not going to spread very many. Okay, we really want to spread them thusly out into the board. So maybe we got to do a little bit more exploration or that sort of thing. But at the very least, we have options now. We moved our mother. We sprouted some mushrooms. Hello, Balzac Billy says in early spring. I'm stuck at work today. Are you growing mushrooms? I am indeed growing a network of mushrooms in Mycelia. Gorgeous game. Playing solo against the bot here. Ooh, he can almost fruit a mushroom, but not quite. He needs brown, red, and any 2. She almost has. He doesn't have the red one, though. There's not a lot of red on the board, frankly. Okay, can't decay because there are no fruited mushrooms to decay. So, gonna keep doing the same old thing. I feel like I messed up his spore action repeatedly, and that, oh, well, I guess not two. But this time it looks like he was gonna... Oh, maybe it's just fruiting mushrooms spore first. That's what that's trying to tell me. Do we believe Balzac Billy? It just got super cold. Yeah, I don't know. I think Balzac Billy's a jerk. Balzac Billy, for anybody who doesn't live here, Balzac Billy is a groundhog. You know, does he see his shadow? Whatever. Anyway, I think Balzac Billy is a jerk, and I don't believe him for a second. It was snowing and blowing snow. Yeah, I bet it was. It's minus 23 is our high today. So I wonder what that is. What's that in Fahrenheit? Cold is what that is. Let's see. Let's see what it is. -8 Fahrenheit. That's our daytime high today. It is yucky out. So I don't love that for us at all. And I do not believe rumors of a early spring. Sounds like nonsense. Okay, so it just tells us how many spores to use if there's a mushroom on the board, which there isn't. So we spore with the mother, just like before. So one's gonna go here, and one is gonna go here. This guy has a huge network of brown spores. Okay, and then he's gonna move. Where's he gonna move to? He's gonna move to whatever that means. To the opponent's spores, the most populated tile, which we can't do. I don't have any spores. Joke's on him. So he's just gonna move twice. Following this, he's gonna move here and grab this insect. And then he will move again. Which he can't do. So he does not move. Because we could take we only take an explore action if we're spreading spores and we can't do it, which he will probably do next turn. All right, back to us. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna win? What is our you have my weather and I would like it back. You like the frigid cold? You want it? Whoa, 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 whoa. Allison, you want it to be like -20 out? No. Don't say that. I mean, I want it to like feel like winter, but it can feel like winter at like -10. That's cool. I like it. It's not so, it doesn't like, not like I walk outside the house and it hurts. When the cold hurts my face, it's too cold. As simple as that. All right, so what are we gonna do? We could try, spreading spores with this. It would be more spores now. If we wanted to be, cheeky, we could move our mother to here, because then we essentially claim these as our own. And it really is disruptive. The blue player would have, like, we would be here, and the blue player would have this as a network, one yellow and two brown, and a single brown, and that's it. And he can't move. I think they can move through our spot, but not onto it. So let's do that. Let's be disruptive and annoying. Now, unfortunately for us, none of our cards, the hairy trumpet that we desperately want to put into play, we can almost do, but not quite, because it needs brown spores, which we have now. We've yoinked those essentially. But we need a green or a yellow, which we do not have. So why don't we spore with our stinking dapperling and just we are going to refuse to roll on this side of the die. It's gonna work out. It'll be fine. Okay, so we're gonna move this up to 1, and we get to put out 3 spores. The first one goes here, and the rest go in the direction of the wind. It is, of course, this way, so we get nothing. Yes, please. It makes for a wonderful snow opportunity. Must be a skier or a snowboarder. I agree. I think Allison, I can imagine Allison, she's painting minis while she, hits the slopes. I can believe that. goes skiing, retires to a cozy cabin, and paints. That sounds like a really nice life, actually. I want to do that. All right. Our friend here, what's he going to do? Ooh, can't get this because he sucks. I want to make sure I'm understanding the decay action correctly for him. If they're eligible to decay any spore counter. They are not. Okay. So they're just going to spread more spores. If on an outer edge, explore first instead. So the first action that the bot is going to take is explore, because he's otherwise potentially wasting spores, and that would be stupid. Who would be foolish enough to do that? Not the bot. Okay. So the first action that they will take is to place this out next to them. We're going to say that they're going to be like reclusive and put it over there. And then he will spore. So he's going to put out 2. Oh, not my spores, though. 1 here, and then he'll roll. And 1 onto the newer tile that just came out. So he's got this still. These are the same, actually. 1 yellow and 2 brown on either side. So maybe he'll live the dream and be able to make that work sometime. Okay. So speaking of dreams, how can we make this work? We could just spore using our mother here. We tried to get greedy using the stinking dapperling. It didn't really work out for us. But if we just spore using the mother here in the center, we can put 1 here. And well, once again, we're stuck. We really want a spore here, but I don't want to move the mother to do it. So I want to greed for it. I desperately want to greed for it. We're just less likely to be heartbroken if we use this one, right? We'll for sure that other spore will end up somewhere, but only has a 1/3 chance of going where we want it to, whereas a 2/3 chance over here. And we could decay this and pick up new cards. Okay, we're gonna live the dream again. We're gonna spore with our stinking dapperling. Okay. So he gets 3. 1 goes here. When we roll this die, it better not be that stupid O. Of course it is. Oh my god. This game hates us. Hates me in particular. Okay, so we wasted it again. We did literally the identical thing as last time. Ugh. Okay, so we're going to change our plans. We're going to change our plans because we're addicted to failure. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to take a card. We're going to take this Dryad's Saddle because this one needs brown. Okay. And we're on a spot with brown. If we just take the spore action and do nothing else, in 2 turns, we could place this out. Okay. Actually, no, we couldn't because our mother can't be on the spot where we place it. Maybe we don't want to take that. Maybe that's not a good idea. Let's explore. Even though this has failed, let's increase our likelihood of not failing again. Let's find a way to spend these spores. We'll maybe move our mother back there or something. Or I could move her here. I don't know. I wanted to steal these. Damn it. But let's just try exploring down here. Or, well, we can explore anyway. Hey, it's a red tile. There aren't very many of those. We are for sure putting that down here. All right. What's our friend going to do? Something irritating, I'm sure. Ooh. Can he fruit using 2 brown and 1 anything? Absolutely he can, right? Because his dream has come true, right? Probably because he could do it either here or here. He'll do it over here. That's a better place. These ones are kind of stuck, right? Being at the edge of the board kind of sucks. We just didn't know that. He's going to get rid of these 3 and he's going to put out a spore. Okay. I don't know if there's, or a mushroom rather. I don't know if there's any significance to which of those we place it on. Probably toward the center. Oh, we place it on the color shown on the card as a decider. So we would have put it on the brown tile, not the wild card one. So we did it correctly anyway. Okay, and then he can't decay yet, but he can spore, right? So he can use this. He gets 2. It tells us on here how many he gets for it. It's 2 spores. I keep wanting to steal my own. So 1's going to go here. And 1 is going to go on the spot we're on. Sucks to suck. Now, the problem is we can't steal these unless it's for something other than this. Like, we can't put it on the same spot as our own thing. So that sucks. Okay, so things we could do. We could decay our mushroom. We'd get to pick up 2 new cards. That could be really useful. The yellow swamp Mycelia here is worth a ton of points and gives us a benefit where our mother mushroom spores 3 for the rest of the game. So that could be worth taking for sure. So why don't we decay this? So we've spored twice. This goes underneath. Okay. It doesn't want to go underneath, but I will convince it otherwise. Okay. It gives us its effect, so we instantly pick up 2 new cards, it says. Okay. So we're going to take this one. There's no hand limit. And I think that would gets replaced. And we're going, I mean, this one is really easy to do. Place the wind die on the preferred direction. So that's for any other mushrooms that are in that same slot. We get to choose where they spore. That seems extremely strong. Dryad Saddle's also worth 7 points. But we're not going to be able to get it until this mother moves or that mushroom is gone. Maybe let's just take it and dare to dream. We're going to greed for points here. We don't know what we're doing. Okay. So we decayed, picked up 2 new cards, and then I guess this was also removed from the board. And this gets reset as well. Okay, so now we're gonna just do what we should have done all along, and we're gonna spore from here because we can't otherwise do anything. We really need one to get onto this spot. We're gonna just achieve that right now. We're gonna put out one of those, and we're gonna roll this die, and we want the U. We did not get the U. We're gifting. We have been quite unlucky with the die, as unlucky as is possible. I mean, I could have just not done that. But in the same way that we control these, he now controls this. The larger pieces grant you control of the spores. So that's unlucky. Sucks to suck. All right. What's his next action going to be? Going to use this one. And he is going to try to spawn a 2 red. Not a chance, my man. He also cannot decay, but he can spore that mushroom, so he'll be able to decay next turn. Okay? So, he gets to put out 1 on it. And then 1. He got the one we wanted on red. The least common one so far. And then he's going to move. So he is going to move toward the closest insect token. I think that means that he moves. Oh, you know what? When we explored, did we find any new insects? No, we did not. Okay. I think he would move 1, 2, because I don't think he can end up on the same spot as that mushroom. I don't remember if mother mushrooms can be on brooding mushroom spots. I don't think so. Okay, so we can be on that piece, which is good to know. So what's interesting, of course, is we've actually like okay, in the event if we're blocking his mushroom. Okay, so this is sort of like a little janky. I think we're just gonna like we can just basically stay there and the guy's blocked. It says he can't move onto a tile containing, you know, your opponent's mother mushroom, right? Which I assume means you can't move through it. I don't know if it's just onto. Let's assume that we can move through them and just can't end our movement there. It's unclear, but we'll just call it that because then that's fair. All right, he moved. We're done. He's done. All right. So, what are we going to do? He's really messing with us now because of his placement. And we don't have a good mushroom. I mean, we could always just take this. No, we can't do that. I mean, we could move here. And then if we move here, he can't use his mushroom, but we have the 4 brown we need for our dryad saddle, and we can put it here, and then those become ours as well. So let's do that. So we're going to move our mother mushroom as our first action. Okay. And then now we control these. And he can't use his fruiting mushroom, but he can scare us away with an insect, basically. But what we can do is we can just quickly fruit a mushroom. We're going to spend the 4 brown we need. 1, 2, 3, 4 in order to get the dryad's saddle. And one of them came from over here, so we could put our mushroom there instead. Okay. And then now we control these as well. And we're still blocking his guy from decaying. He can't take a decay action, but he can spend insect tokens to move us. I mean, we could have spent insect tokens to move his thing too, but I think this was a better action. All right, so it's his turn. Ooh. If we hadn't done that, he could do this. Fruit with yellow, brown, and 3 of anything else. Those are the 3 he needs. He doesn't have a network of those pieces right now. Can he decay? No. Is this the point where he shunts us off or not? I don't know. Let's find out. It doesn't say anything about Always go for the option that will help the thing. Okay, let's assume he would spend his single insect to remove our piece. And it says it goes on the furthest possible spot, which would be this one, because he doesn't want to put it where we're going to gain an insect. He just gets to place it somewhere away, right? Because then he can take the decay action. The decay bonus is literally the same as what it would have been otherwise. Or what he gets from that insect. The decaying moves us to the furthest green or red tile. That's the perk that he gets. So it worked out the same anyway. But we decayed that. Okay. And we put this, I guess, over here to indicate that it has been decayed. All right, cool. So he decayed. And then he can spore, because he's a big jerk. So I feel like maybe we're supposed to be sporing 3 with his mother mushroom too in this case. It's once again not clear, but the icon is directly over top of the other one, so let's assume that that's not the case. He gifted us another one. That's rad. We'll take it. We'll take it. And it's our turn. Okay, so what are we gonna do? I mean, I don't know if we're even winning. I think he scores these 5 mushrooms that we just randomly top decked, like, gave him during setup. Let's see if that's true. Each mushroom that that he has is worth 5 points plus any bonus points earned through insect tokens. The standard score is usually 26. He does not gain the end game token. So why does he have 5 face down cards? Does he just score? I don't think he uses those cards at any point. I feel like I'm missing something here because of this. Like when he fruits, we use what's shown here, right? And at the end of the game, each mushroom he fruits is worth 5 points. So why does he have cards then? Is it just to take cards out of the deck? That feels extremely unnecessary with such a large deck, but I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to worry about it too much. It is our turn. What are we going to do? So our score would currently be something like 9, right? We gotta focus up maybe on getting this guy out, right? This, we need red. It's worth lots of points. It gives us a permanent buff to our mother, which would be great. We're in the same scenario again, where we don't have a lot on the go, where like if we edge of the board sucks. We don't want to spore right now, right? So maybe what we'll do is we'll explore. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. We can make use of that, because we do want to get more spores on here eventually, and possibly there. This tile does not want to slide easily. Okay, so we're going to explore, and then we're going to take this scarlet wax cap and add it to our hand. We have no hand limit. Let's abuse that. This one we can just put out with a brown or a red. That's it. Easy. All right. Ooh, Devil's Tooth. That looks creepy. Not sure how to feel about that one. All right, so what's he gonna do? Can he fruit a yellow and a red and 2 other ones? Almost, but not quite, because these aren't connected. We're blocking him essentially with this fruit. We own those. That is our spot. Can he decay? No, because he already did. So he's going to spore. And he is once again, through the benefit of the wind, gifting us another thing. We're never going to use all of those. And then he's going to move. Where's he going to go? He is going to go toward the opponent's mother mushroom. So he's just going to move to here and assert dominance. That's irritating. That's extremely irritating. Okay. So, let's try sporing with this guy, the Dryad Saddle. Now, he only gets 2. 1 on his spot. And then we roll the die. And we want this to be yellow. We want this to be the U shape. It is not. we have more brown ones that are available. So these aren't connected with these. He owns those. Those are his now. We're just kind of hooped. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to explore, because we're stuck in this corner. We want this to be yellow also, which it isn't, but red is the rarest one out so far. So having more access to that isn't horrible. We also is kind of disproportionately represented on our cards here. So getting more reds is going to be good for us. Now that's our whole turn. What's he going to do? Ooh, can he get this? Maybe he can. No, because they're not connected. He's not connected to this red one. He can't decay, but he can spore. Give to me the spores, please. Thank you. And then he can move. He is going to move towards the nearest brown tile. Ooh, he's going to come block us and get all those back. Okay, that's actually a huge move for him. So huge, it might be worth us spending 2 insect tokens to move him into the boonies somewhere so that we have access to those. I don't think we have a good way to spend them, though. I guess we do have this one. We could get the hairy trumpet out there. An option. Let's do that. Let's spend our 2 insect tokens. So that essentially costs us a point. But we can move him away. And then it doesn't cost us an action to do that. And then our first action can be to fruit this hairy trumpet here. Okay, so it's... Oh, no, I can't do that. I'm a fool. I need brown and green or yellow. Those are neither of those things. Whoops. Okay, so let's not do that. Let's take our insects back. I can't understand simple colors, apparently. Okay, so what do we need to get some of our cool things here? Our scarlet wax cap we could just get. We could just get that there. It's just a brown. Let's do that. Let's fruit a scarlet wax cap. Boom. Okay, and now our Dryad Saddle we can't do anything with because we're being blocked. We'd have to spend the insects, but we know that he's likely to move. So maybe let's not do that. And we could just spore down here with our mother. We need lots of red anyway. So one's going to go here and one is going to go on the brown. So we have this network of tiles down here now that's coming together where we have brown, red, and green. We don't have access to these ones because he's blocking us, and we don't have anything on this tile despite our best efforts. So we still don't have brown with, you know, green or yellow in its network. Well, I guess we do here because they're connected. They just have to be connected. They don't necessarily have to be adjacent, right? So, okay. What's he gonna do? Let's see if this is his turn where he gets like 5 brown on this. He did not. but I think he can fruit this anyways. He needs a green, a brown, and any two other ones. So he has brown here. He has green here. I mean, I guess he would probably use our brown, right? So brown, green, and any two others. He'd probably spend from off in the boonies. They're connected. He can spend them. I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure that that's. They just have to be connected, not adjacent. Must be connected. Okay, so and then he's gonna spawn this mushroom on either the green or the brown. So the green hurts us more, so he'll do that. Okay, can he decay? No. Can he spore? Yes, and he can spore 3. So 1 here, and then 2 in a cone this way. So probably there, and probably red, because red has been harder to get. Okay, and we're gonna have to shuffle up his cards. This is really like quick and snappy. Like I like the turns being swift now that I have a vague idea of what's going on. I do feel like it feels a bit random because it is. The more I look at the graphic design, the more I like it. It's sort of interesting. You don't notice it so much here as I'm looking at it, but in this top-down view, like the fact that these are so circular and, you know, I really do like the visuals of this game a lot. Unfortunately, I think I might like the visuals more than the gameplay, but we'll see. Okay, so what can we do? Can we fruit again? If we wanted to fruit this, for instance, or any of these, this green one kind of messes us up. We could move on to it though. We could just assert dominance by simply moving our mother onto it. That's an option. We could also try sporing with our scarlet wax cap. That's going to let us eventually get, so we can choose which way for this mushroom, which way we spore. We set the wind to a direction of our choosing. These are not connected to anything though. They're just kind of off in the boonies there. So I'm not sure how super useful that is going to be. We also could get this stupid hairy trumpet out eventually, but we can only do that we can only do that if we move our mother. We need these green back. All right, so I feel like moving this is a necessity, and I think we can get the hairy trumpet later. Let's spore instead. We'll put a spore here. What do we get? We got the only one we don't want. Okay, rad. Love that for me. I want to get one on yellow, and I think we've rolled for it like 4 or 5 times now, and we've never had it. But that's okay. We'll get there. Do you feel like this would be a different game with 2 players? Yeah, I think so. I feel like overall this feels just a little bit like the movement of the piece, for instance, the mother piece feels a bit rando, you know? Can he decay a mushroom? No. Oh, I didn't increase the spore token last time. Because he did spore with that. Can he spore with it though? No, because we're blocking him. Which means the only thing he could do would be move. So this was the thing. If he can only move because he's blocked, which is what just happened, he spends an insect to move us to the furthest possible spot. And then he explores and then moves. So he's going to explore. And then he will move to the closest green tile. which is his own mushroom, which feels... Well, I mean, I guess we have lots of things. No, but he has the... Okay, we're going to move toward the closest green tile, not onto, because he already controls that one. That doesn't really make sense. Okay. So, we're now in the boonies. That doesn't help us. We still have a control of all of these brown ones. We no longer have control of these green ones. That sucks. I don't think we want to get trapped over here, so we're going to move. 1, 2. We can pick up a point worth of insects anyway. And then I think we should try and just spore so that we can... We kind of want to... I wish we could use these somehow, but I don't feel like they're readily used by us. So we're going to spore our scarlet wax cap. So we get 3 spores, 1 there, and then we're going to roll. And this is going to go that way. So 1 can go here, and then we can put 1 here on the lucrative yellow spot. And now this is like a connected network, or I guess this is. He steals that from us still, but this is a connected network, which gives us some options for next turn. All right. And on brand never works. What do you mean? What do you mean? Everything works perfectly here. Flawless victory. Okay, can he spawn a thing on brown and red? Maybe? Okay, this is blocking all of his stuff. So his brown tile actually isn't connected. So no, he cannot. Can he decay? No. Can he spore? Yes, he can. So he's going to spore 3. 1 here. And then 2 down this way. Give him the largest network possible. And then he's going to move. He's going to move toward the opponent's most populated tile. I mean, I think the fairest... I mean, he can get to this one. Which one has the most on it? This one that he already controls. So ones he doesn't control is this one. Gonna move toward this. I guess he picks up an insect on the way. Okay. What can we do now? We can get a hairy trumpet. Because we have brown here. Well, we'll spend 1 of his because we can, because we control them. And we have yellow here, our own, for this. Just going to go here, which makes those ours now. LOL, listen, okay, listen. What can I say? It's a little bit of a goofy name, okay? Leave me alone. Okay, so we got that. And then what else can we have to take 2 different actions. So even if we could spawn 1 of these, we can't. I think he's gonna use up some of these red ones. We might need our mother down that way in order to save ourselves from the enemy. But it's also, we really want to get these bonuses, and we can only get them if we complete these. So we should probably just spore 1 of these. Why don't we let's just spore the hairy trumpet. There's a word yeah, never mind. I'm not saying anything else. Okay. 1 of these is going here. We're going to roll this. And in this direction, which we did not want whatsoever, we get 2 more. So we'll go like that, I suppose. And our turn is over, thank God. I don't want to say hairy trumpet anymore. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Okay, he can probably do this one, right? He needs to fruit on... I mean, we control everything up here. So he can't do this. He needs yellow and red. And he doesn't have any yellow because we own it all. Can he decay? Yes, he can. So he's going to decay. And that means that he can move an opponent's mushroom to an empty spot. So probably this one, so that, because it's the one controlling the most cubes. And he's gonna like huck it off in the corner here. That was rude. And then he can spore. He'll spore his mother because he has no fruited mushrooms. So he'll put one here. And then one over here. And then it is our turn. So what do we got? We have brown, yellow, green, yellow, red. We got all the colors represented, but we don't have enough red to get this mushroom. We need 3. But we probably have enough to do this one, for instance. 2 red, a yellow, and a green. So let's do that. Let's get this mushroom here. So 2 red, a yellow, and a green. And we can put this one right there and yoink those pieces, and hopefully he doesn't come punish us for that because he's right beside us. But now we have access to more red. And then let's spore with this hairy trumpet so I never have to say it again. I'll have to say it once more for decay, and then we never need to talk about it again. So one's going to go here, and we're going to roll. It spores 3, and it spores them in that direction. So we can go... Well, they're going on brown no matter what, I think. I don't know. How far... Can we put them on yellow? I don't know. Oh yeah, they spread. Like we have to put them adjacent, like form a line, basically. Okay. So our turn's over. Who doesn't like a hairy trumpet anyway? The hairy trumpet turns out to say, why am I reading these comments? What is wrong with me? Okay. Can he get this one? He needs green and red. He has green and red, and then any 3, but he has no other mushrooms connected to this because he doesn't have any here, and we are stealing these. So he cannot fruit. He cannot decay. He can spore. He is going to spore... Oh, he would explore first, actually, because he just did what you don't want to do, which is sending them off the board. Oh, another one of the black tiles. These count as any color. We don't play with them in the solo game. So his other cube is going to go here. All right. So he's spored, and then he's going to move. He's going to move toward... the closest red tile. He's on a red tile, but that means he can come here and assert dominance and get that tile back. And we are now blocked, and we'll have to either spend insects to, you know, move that away, or suffer. I mean, if we do spend insects, we could get this other mushroom, but we don't have a place to put it. So the first thing we have to do, blissfully, is we can just decay this stupid hairy trumpet. It goes away. Okay. Number 4 comes off the board. That's this guy. And the decay effect for this is that we have an upgrade to our mushroom down here now. So now we can spore this mushroom and our mother as a single action. Okay, so we get to put out probably like 4 or 5 spores in one shot. So on that note, let's spend 2 insects. Let's kick this guy way off into the boonies. I'm pretty sure we just pick a tile and put it in there. Let me double check that that's correct. Any other triangle on the board. All right, see ya, nerd. He's gone. And then our final thing is going to be to get one of these. We're going to take advantage of the fact that we we own these ones right now, right? So these are ours and we can spend them. 3 red and a yellow. We have to spend our own yellow because we don't have a mushroom there anymore. But then we can spawn this one and we can put it right back where this was originally, on the corpse of the hairy trumpet. Long live the hairy trumpet. Huzzah. The hairy trumpet asserting dominance. That's right. And from its corpse springs forth life. Don't read into that too much. It's fine. Okay. What's this guy going to do? Green and brown. I feel like having these in strategic places really messes with I'm sure players generally, but the AI specifically, because he has brown, he has green, but they're not connected because of this mushroom. Or do they count as connected? No, they don't. They don't. Why am I doing that? He has red and green down here, but he doesn't have brown and green. He has this one over here, but they're not connected. So we're really kind of messing him up. So he cannot fruit. He cannot decay. So he's going to spread spores, but he will first explore because he's on the corner of the map. He found more yellow. I feel like when I've been exploring, I have sometimes been failing to put out insects. Definitely. Here's one. There's supposed to be one there. I don't know. We'll call that even. And then he's going to move out of that corner of doom. Or wait, no, he was sporing. He's not going to move. He's going to put a spore here, and he's going to put one down here. All right. And now it is our turn. So we probably want to spore with one of these. I mean, we kind of want to clear up space, right? Only being able to spore one time is tricky. I guess we have this spot too. I kind of forgot it existed. So we could put this guy out. Let's see. We need red, yellow, and green. We don't have any red currently. So what's number 5? The yellow swamp Mycelia. That's worth lots of points to us. And he only spores 2. But that'll get us the red we need. So let's spore with this guy. So 1 goes here. And 1 goes here on the other red. And then that means we can get red. Maybe we'll take this one. Red. Yellow. We can borrow his because we have our mushroom there. And green. So we have enough to get this dude. The mauve, I don't know, whatever. Splitting wax cap. Or Polymopsis Llewellyn. Oh my gosh, that is not pronounceable. And it needs to go on one of those ones that we took from him. I mean, we could put it here and assert dominance and further break him up, and then he has like almost no red again. Or we could put it there. Let's put it here. That's more fun. Okay, so we did our 2 actions. What's he gonna do? 2 brown and 1 of anything else. He can live this dream. He's gonna use some of the brown from this tile, and he's gonna use brown from this one because he's got way too many there. And he's just gonna plop that right there and muck up our network in the same way that we have been doing to him. Hey, can he decay? No. Can he spore? Yes, he only spores 2. 1 is gonna be here, and 1 is going to be here. So he just regained those brown tiles those brown spores that he finally spent. But whatever, I don't care. His problem, not ours. Okay. I think we spored our yellow swamp Mycelia. Failed to note that. Now, if we spore this one, we get to put out 4 spores. 2 from this, and 2 from our mother, which is big. We don't need any, we don't have any cards right now. We probably want to be taking higher valued cards if we can, I think. We don't have any currently. Do we only score ones that we've placed or that have decayed or not? I have no idea, actually. All fruited and decayed mushrooms. So we don't have to complete them, but completing them gets us to end game faster and makes us score our points, right? So gives us more spots. Okay, so let's use let's use up some of these. And this lets us spore more with our mother, and then we can spore both. So let's do this one first. Let's spore our yellow swamp russula. So that's number 5. One goes here, and one goes on the brown spot in the corner. And then I think we either want to take a card, explore, or I mean, why do we need to explore? We don't really need to. We can't put a card out. We need to take a card. So we probably want higher valued ones, or ones that give us a decay effect that's useful. The Velvet Shank is the one that's the highest value right now, but it's hard for us to execute. We need 3 brown. This one's easier for us to consistently do, the Shaggy Parasol. And that's more fun to say. Hairy Trumpet makes me uncomfortable. Shaggy Parasol, that's just funny. I like that one. Let's take that card as our second action. Ooh, Vampire's Bane. Rad. Okay. 2 yellow he needs. He does have 2 yellow. No, he does not, because he doesn't have these because of our mushroom there. So he cannot fruit one. Can he decay? No. Can he spore? Yes, he can. He gets to put out 2. One here and one over on this other brown one that's actually for us. Sucks to suck. And then he will move. He's going to move to the closest yellow spot. Boom. Okay. Our turn. What are we going to do? We're going to decay our yellow swamp russula. We hardly knew ya. Okay, but we're going to decay that. So our mother now spores 3 instead of 2, which means that when we take this action, we got a little wombo combo here, right? So our mother now spores 2, and this one, when we spore this mushroom, we spore it and the mother as a single action. So we'll get 2 from this and 3 from the mother spore, and that gives us a total of 5, which is rad. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Do we need those spores on the board? I'm not sure that we do. Is it fun to put them out anyway? Yes. But should we do this instead? Should we fruit a Shaggy Parasol? God, that is fun to say. Yeah, let's do that. We got the ones that we have here in order to do it. And we can put it wherever. Let's put it on green. Let's just make these a useless non-network. Okay, our turn's over. Oh, 2 red and something else. If only he had this tile that he doesn't have. So he does not have 2 red. We have dominance on that. No fruiting for him. Can he decay? Yes, he can. His benefit is he gains an insect token. And then he can spore. So he would take an explore action first. So I think we would just do the explore action then, because he decayed. All right. What are we going to do? I mean, the more often we put mushrooms in this slot specifically, the more often we can abuse this little wombo combo that we have. So let's do that. So we spore both this mushroom and our mother. So from number 4, we get 2. So one here, and one goes where we don't want it to. And then from our mother, one goes here. It spores 3 now. And 2 go that away. Like so. And then we probably need a card that we can actually play. This one's looking pretty viable. The Velvet Shank. It also spores 4, so it would be hilariously... we put out 7 spores every time we do this action. So let's collect that as our next turn. Okay, yellow and green, if you know what I mean. He doesn't have any green that are connected, so he can't do this one. Any decay? No. Any spore? You bet your ass he can. So 3, 1 goes here, and the others go out there. And then he's going to move. He will move toward the nearest green spot. Oh, he's going to go take over our mushroom like an annoying jerk. All right. So we don't have a place to do anything. And the thing holding us up is we can only take 1 spore action every time. So we can't earn more spots very quickly. It's every third, well, yeah, every third turn, right? So we can spore with this guy again. So 2 from here. 1 goes on it. 1 we gift to him. Sucks to suck. And 3 from our mother piece. 1 there. And 2 in this direction. So we can put 1 here and 1 there, I guess. We got lots of yellow. Oodles of yellow. Okay, so we did this, and then we could decay it, because then it will be out of our way, right? And we can fruit the next turn. So we'll decay this. Means this guy comes off. Actually, maybe we shouldn't decay it. Like, what if we need... I guess we have to get rid of that piece first anyway. Sure, let's do it. Okay. So this one's out of here. And now our mother can move 3 spots. But our turn is over. Okay, and this guy, does he have yellow, brown, and 3 others? Yes, he does. He definitely does. So he's got yellow here. He's got brown here, but he can steal ours, right? And then any 3 others, he can just take, like, look at this. Like, he can just take those ones. He can fruit out this 4th one. And he can put it here and steal all of our yellows. And we can be sad. Any decay? No. Any spore? Yes. 1. 2, 3. All right, it is our turn. We want to fruit this Velvet Shank. Do we have enough brown? Yes, we do. We got... Oh. But we have mushrooms in the way. That's irritating. So... I suppose in order to do this, we're going to have to move our mother piece. But we could move it up to 3 now. Or no, yeah, I can move 3. We could move it 1, 2, 3 and block this mushroom. And then we now have, we can use his brown pieces. We need 3. We can just take all of his, because why not? And a green. Oh, but we still have to be able to spawn it. Okay, so instead of taking his from here, we'll take our own from there and our green. They're all connected, and that means that this mushroom can spawn here. And we are done. Oh, I gotta shuffle his cards. I think we're rapidly approaching the end of the game. If we decay these, the game is over. And I think it probably, I mean, we can't decay them immediately. We have to, but like we can, 2 more turns essentially is what we need in order to do that. Can he fruit 2 green and 1 other? Yes, right here. He gets his final fruit out. And can he decay? No. Can he spore? Yeah, sure he can. So he's gonna spore 2. 1 here, 1 here. And he's done. Fruited, decayed. So we basically just want to finish up here. We're gonna spore with our dryads saddle. It puts out 2. It is mushroom number 2. 1 goes there, and 1 goes off the board to nowhere. And then we're going to decay it. So the decay effect from it says move 1 outer edge piece, including all of its contents, to wherever we want. So I don't think there's very many compelling things for us to actually move, but we can add this brown to our bigger network and separate it from his. We just slide that over there. So we'll do that. And then it's his turn. I guess the 2, this guy is back here. All right, can he fruit? He doesn't have any remaining fruit to use, so I don't think so. Also, he has decayed his 3rd one. Where is it? Why am I on it? This shouldn't have even been on the board. Whoops. Can he decay? No. Oh, yes, he can. So he can decay this one, the 4th one. And multiple mushrooms have been fruited. Make sure they all spore once before sporing a 2nd time. I don't think that's ever been a problem, because that only 1 out until very recently. Maybe I messed that up last round. Regardless, he gets to play out 2 things. He'll probably jam these down in the corner here. That was his decay action, and then he can spore. 3. 1 here. And 1 here and 1 here. Okay. He's done. So, as soon as there's 5 down that have been decayed, 5 below, the game immediately ends. So we can spread out spores. I don't think the spores actually matter, so we're not going to bother. And then can decay this, and then the game is immediately over, and we can score it. So our opponent here each mushroom that they fruit is worth 5 points, plus any bonus points earned through insect tokens. The standard score is usually 26. He does not gain the end of game token. Oh, but we do, because we ended the game, which is worth 5 points to us. So he did fruit all of his mushrooms. So 5 times 5 is 25. And then he gets 1 point for 2 insects and not that. So he gets 26, exactly like they told us. The significance of dealing him out 5 cards feels extremely arbitrary. Maybe just to turn over the deck a little bit so we see more cards or something like that. I don't know. But then our scoring is a little bit different. So we get Points for all fruited and decayed mushrooms plus any insect tokens. Plus we get 5 points for this. So we get 6 bonus points. And then what's on our mushrooms? We got 6, 13, 15, 20, 25, 28, 32, 38, plus 6, I think. 6, 13, 15, 20, 25, 28, 34, 38, plus 6. We got 44 points to his 26. So we positively skunked the bot. It was not close. I feel like I might have... There's one thing that I'm not sure if I misplayed or not. It's the rules are written not poorly, but just in a sort of like slightly odd way, I feel, where it's not like yeah, I don't know how to describe it. You'd know if you read them. They're not bad or confusing, nor are they like ambiguous. Well, they're a little ambiguous, but they're ambiguous because of how they're written. And I don't know how to describe it better than that. Just like sort of, yeah. Yeah. Things are often split out over like 3 sentences where they could be, where you'd expect them to be 1. It's sort of like, but I don't know. It's very, very peculiar, unique to this rule book. Like, I don't know how to describe it. One thing that's unclear, that's ambiguous, is when we're sporing, it says the number of spores is shown on the card. I think this means if he's sporing from a fruit, it's 3, and sporing from his mother, it's 2, like it is for us. But that might be wrong, and I might have underspored for the opponent. Now, the fact that he got 26 points as anticipated leads me to believe I probably didn't make a big error there. I mean, I guess it's probably always going to score 26. It's just going to, or like plus minus 1. If he had an additional insect, he would have scored 27. But like, he's probably going to fruit all 5 mushrooms in most games. And if I had underdone how many things I had given him, the game would have ended earlier, basically, is the difference. So, good game. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. It's interesting to have played this one so far because I feel like I like this game. I like it. I like the theme. I like the fact that they, just did, like, the art is really nice. I like the fact that they included the scientific names and all that sort of stuff. And I think that overall, I like all of that about it. I don't think the single player of bot is very good, right? No, we did play on easy mode, and perhaps on the harder mode, it would be more difficult, right? But I think that even if it was difficult, this single player mode, if this were more difficult in a way, it has all the trappings of a not good single player mode, right? The challenge with single player games is designers are trying to emulate a human player. And if that can just be easily done with like a decision tree, like, oh, if not this, do that, then your game probably isn't complex enough to be satisfying to human players, right? I know I was just thinking about the fun facts, but thank you for the reminder, Allison. Bots generally cheat, right? They ignore certain rules, or at the very like minimum, their scoring conditions tend to be different, and things like that. Excuse me. But one of the things that's interesting is that I feel like game designers have just decided we can't make a bot that plays like a human player. So they don't try, the bot isn't designed to try and, oh, the heater is coming on. That might be really noisy. You'll have to let me know. But yeah, instead of, it's like the bot has a goal, right? And a human player's goal is score the most points. And it's like they sort of gave up on the idea of scoring the most points being attainable, find a way to make decisions so that it scores lots of points. And instead, they tend to make bots to be as disruptive as possible, including just straight rule bending and stuff. There's not a ton of rule bending going on here, but I feel like that was what stopped this from being interesting, because it felt like the bot, a significant portion of this game, one of the only reason that the game didn't end 20 turns earlier because of the bot fruiting more mushrooms is because we were able to block them in like a lot of areas. Like we had, you know, mushrooms on like various pieces here, right? And that stopped the bot from having a larger network. So often they would have like isolated colors that they needed that they weren't able to access, right? That was like the key part of the game. I think that would be a really interesting thing to explore with multiple players. The bot moving around randomly and just fruiting things kind of wherever meant that that was completely lost, right? And then it's just sort of like, yeah, that just like, you know, when I'm gathering or like took a glance at the harder difficulties things, and it's like the way that they make this more difficult is like randomly remove one card from the opponent's hand, or move the opponent's spot thing to the furthest possible thing. So basically, like, it just interferes with you in nastier ways. It's just more disruptive instead of being like sort of better, as it were. And I think that that's probably not satisfying. Now, I haven't played it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe on medium mode it's a lot harder and whatever. But like, you know, I doubt it. I doubt it. So overall, I feel like from like a graphic design standpoint, this game is like it would be a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 for me, but it's got to lose a point or two because it's just a little visually intense. Like even on stream, I think it was probably hard. Maybe it's not that bad, but like the fact these background patterns and stuff in here, like this looks cool. I like how it makes like sort of a big snowflake with all the white pieces and whatever. That's cool, but like at a glance, it's a little bit hard to see where the cubes are and that sort of thing. And they sort of like overcooked it just that teeny little bit, you know? From a gameplay perspective, this is an interesting but not exceptional game, I think. I wish there was... I don't love the randomness. Where the wind blows is where the spores go. I feel like that's a great thematic thing. I feel like it's controllable here. And I don't just mean in terms of, oh, I rolled and we rolled the direction that was off the board often. It feels like you could play conservatively and avoid those problems. But if you, like, that doesn't feel satisfying. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's just sort of like, it's okay, I guess. It's great thematically. For being like a reasonably important mechanic, having that sort of determined randomly doesn't feel great to me, right? It's not bad, but I think this is like, I'm like well aware of the fact that that's firmly in like personal preference territory. I enjoy games that are more deterministic, where players have more agency. The closer a game is to luck based, the more like the shorter I want it to be, right? And I'm not saying this game is like hugely influenced by luck, but it certainly isn't not influenced by luck, right? And you know, oh hey, I could get this mushroom next turn, and then 4 turns later you just never actually managed to, the wind never blew the way you wanted it to, or whatever. Obviously the random things average out over time, but like I just don't find them to be satisfying personally. And yeah, the bot I think is huge. Huge perk with this is that ease of execution is extremely high. It is not fun to play solo modes where there is an opponent that you have to play and it is tedious, or there's lots of edge cases that are unclear or things like that. And I think they did a really good job of avoiding that. Unfortunately, it just feels a little bit too random to be like satisfying, I think. And you know, especially I feel like if we can say the bot usually scores 26 and that can be printed in the rulebook, I feel like that's a sign that something kind of went wrong. I'm not competing for score then. The bot, I'm just trying to get more than 26 points before the bot ends the game. And he's going to randomly mess things up. I don't know. So overall, it's like, I like this game. I don't think it's a great single player one. And I want to try it with 2. Maybe I'll set it aside as my game for M with games with grandma. We'll see. We'll see. But with that, I do owe you guys some facts about fungus from the back here. Okay, what's it tell us here? It says they're fun. I don't know how fun it can be. What's one that these are about various ones that are various mushrooms that exist in the game. So this one's about devil's tooth. It says, devil's tooth, the common name, derives from the fact its underside is covered in tiny spine-like teeth. When the fruit bodies are young, they are known to ooze a blood-like red liquid in a process known as guttation. That is gross. That's not fun. That's nasty. That's cool. Sounds like the bot is the fun police. A little bit. Okay, what other ones did we get out here? Does it have a fun fact about the hairy trumpet? No, it does not. That is disappointing. We didn't actually see any of these other ones. But this one's funny. So there's a mushroom in here called the stinkhorn. Let's see if we can find it. Its scientific name is Phallus imputicus. So I have a strange feeling we know what it looks like. The sickener? Huh. There's cool mushrooms. Okay. Well, there are a lot. Devil's fingers, creepy. What am I looking for here? Stinkhorn. Not the craypot stinkhorn. That's a different one. A meadow puffball. That's cute. It's gonna be like the first one, and I just went the wrong way, or something stupid like that. There's a fact about the beefsteak fungus in here for sure. It's starting to look like I went the wrong way. Or I just didn't see it and I missed it. Oh my god, it's literally... It was the third one. Okay. Stinkhorn does look a little questionable. It does look a little questionable. And it says here... Apparently, Charles Darwin's daughter Etty would destroy these phallic shapes whenever they appeared in the garden, as she was worried they would serve as a corruptive influence on the servants. All right, the beefsteak fungus. Aptly named due to its marbled red flesh resembling that of a fresh slice of meat, with dripping blood to boot, the fungus infects the heartwood of oak trees. I'm having a tough time reading. This fungus infects the heartwood of oak trees. This discoloration can create handsome streaking known as brown oak timber, and is highly prized by the woodworking industry. We have puffball mushrooms here. They taste like button mushrooms. How big are they? I've never seen a puffball mushroom. But yeah, like what a handsome, like well executed game. I really like the art. I think the attention to detail is really nice. Color palette and whatever is like, not only is the color palette like pleasant, it's really like earthy and like subject matter appropriate, right? Like they did a really good job of the overall kind of visual design on this game. I just wish it was slightly less busy on the board, like just a little. Like if these things, these background colors, instead of being like so obvious, were just like toned down, so they were kind of half as vivid, so they were just like a little bit there, I think it would improve the visual clarity a lot without taking away from them at all. You know, I say as I you know, comment on one of the better, like just offhand, out of nowhere, my unsolicited comment on one of the better visually designed games I own. But anyway, they can get to soccer ball size. It's on brand for op cost as well. Yeah, like I not only, honestly, I'll show you eventually here, but like, so this sleeve, I hate box sleeves, but this one's almost an exception because it's really pretty. And like I got cousin Max to make me an op cost hoodie, and it's forest green with not yellow thread but gold thread. He said it's like shiny even, so like it's this basically. So we'll see how that looks when it shows up. We'll see if Max did a good job. But yeah, I think that was a good first stream back. I don't think I'm going to play this one again, not for any dislike of this game. I'd be down to try the solo mode again. I just feel like this is a like, I want to keep things simple. I'm trying to ease back into streaming, and I want to stay away from marathon streams and whatever else for the next little bit here. So on that note, I will be kind of streaming, I think, 3 times a week. I'd like it to get to 4 times a week, but I'm not going to commit to that just yet. What I expect that this is going to look like is I am going to be streaming on Wednesdays on YouTube with Sarah. We are about 70% done playing through the games in the top 100. She has a broken wrist, so we played some non-dominant hand crokinole recently. That was a rough time. But yeah, Wednesdays I'll be streaming on YouTube only with Sarah. Thursdays, early kind of morning, like probably 10 a.m. my time. It's currently 2. We're gonna start streaming games with Grandma. So I'm gonna have my mom on stream, and we are going to start playing some 2-player games and just working through the alphabet, A to Z. And then on Sundays I'll be back here for the usual, like today. I would like to add in a 4th stream there somewhere because I want to start playing through campaign games. I have a ton of dungeon crawly campaign games that I need to get on the table, and they're like a time investment. It's funny, I've been reading about this in sort of the video game space where like people are tired of huge games, all these AAA games. Like there's this thing now where it's like, you know, Elder Scrolls 6, it's like Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 5 came out like a decade ago, more than a decade. And it's just like the development cycle is super long, and these games come out and they're like massive and so big that it's like overwhelming and, you know, too much generally. And I feel like board game campaign games are like very much an analog for that, an analog experience. And it's the same sort of thing where it's like, if the sales pitch on the Kickstarter page is this is a 200-hour campaign, 10 years ago, that was like a wow, like, yeah, let's go for it. And now it's the sort of thing where it's like, well, but I already have 6 other games with a 200-hour campaign that I'm not done. Like, I don't have 200 hours for a single game that's not a sales, that's like, if that's the sales pitch, that's to its detriment now. That's like an anti-sale to me. I'm not buying any games this year anyway, but when can Lady Opcost play, or puzzles with Lady Opcost? We'll put that in the maybe category. Right? I don't want to make any commitments on Martina's, you know, schedule there, and I'd like to get back to that too, but I don't know. Life's been complicated, and it's not going to get less complicated. We're going to be renovating our house in the coming months here. That's not going to affect my streaming space directly, but we're not going to be living at home anymore. And like, it's just going to be sort of a little bit weird overall. Everything's going to be a little topsy-turvy, so I don't want to, like, you know, overcommit too hard. There was something else I wanted to say that was clever, but I don't remember what it was, so we're just going to assume it wasn't that important. So on that note, I think my next stream will be on, well, I don't know, maybe I'll make a decision about the campaign stream. If I'm going to start playing campaign games, that probably has to be something like Tuesdays, and that would be also a daytime thing. So we'll see about that. Maybe I'll start that next week. I got a noodle on that one. So either I'll be back Tuesday with a surprise pop-up campaign stream. It will probably be something dungeon crawly. I'm not sure exactly what just yet. And other than that, I'll be back Wednesday. I'm not sure what we're going to play, Sarah and I. Lady Opcost doesn't play games anymore. Yeah, tell me about it. Not for lack of setup. Like, there's room here. You can join me at any time. I think we're going to play Heat. Pedal to the Metal. That's what Sarah and I are going to play this coming Wednesday. So I am really looking forward to that. And yeah, just sort of tightening things up and focusing on stream and content generally over the next weeks and months. Getting back onto, I'm trying to use this mouse because I used to use this for the laptop that's sitting right beside me, and now I have it set up for my desktop PC that I actually use for streaming, and I'm trying to use it, and of course it's not working because it's not hooked up. Pro streamer, by the way. It's been great seeing you Sunday. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you. You know what? I think we're going to keep things simple. The ad is going to start in 5 seconds. I don't even think we're going to raid out. We're just going to call it here. And I hope you guys had fun with this one. I had a good time. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of you in the coming weeks and months. I hope you guys are well. I hope you find some time to play some board games. See you next time.